Hello. I am Cassie Brown, and I am thrilled to welcome you to the Amplify My Impact podcast. After years of consulting and managing programs for some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry, I am on a mission to expand our contribution, to grow, scale, and create more so we can do and give more. This podcast celebrates entrepreneurs who are boldly stepping up to own their calling, expand their influence, and stretch outside their comfort zone, who've decided to stop playing it small, pick up the mantle of contribution, and serve at a higher level to lead by example and light the way for others. If that's you, then get ready to amplify. There's a fire that burns inside your soul, and we're going to ignite it into a roaring blaze of unstoppable momentum. Hello again, and welcome back to Amplify My Impact. Today, I want to talk to you about our obligation, your obligation, my obligation, and what I like to call sort of like that aha light bulb moment where something in ourselves or in our soul, like the lights are on, and it's that spark, but it's so much so that once it's turned on, it cannot be covered, quieted, turned down, or ever turn off. So let's get started. I think before we get into it, should probably go back to the moment I sort of felt that calling, that nudge, that voice, just that would not stop. That burning desire that there is more that I could contribute to, and it's just a unquenchable pursuit of doing that. And for me, I transitioned out of the corporate world fairly young and started my own photography business, and that was going really well. So I had already had, a taste of doing what I absolutely loved that brought in an income and brought joy to others. So I knew what that felt like, but I didn't know to the extent that it could be more. And I think that's the biggest takeaway that I'd like for you guys just, to have in your heart and in your head today as you listen to these words is, when we hear the word obligation, there's a lot of negative connotations to it, but it's almost like once you have a level of awareness, you've got a responsibility to get out there and to serve and to do so at a higher level and be loud enough and bright enough for people to be able to find you, because you have it in you to solve a problem and they just need to know where to go. So that's where we're going. But now let's take a look at the path and what that looks like to get there. So for me, this came to an absolute crashing halt when Adam was diagnosed with his brain tumor. And it was just one of those things where it's like shooting weddings on the weekend with, at the time we had 3 young kids, while he went to appointments and meetings with surgeons and just trying to juggle all that. It was very unrealistic. So I put a complete halt to my business and that growth and getting clients and all of that good stuff, and fully focused on the family. And through that, did that for about 5 years following his surgery. And it's not, I don't know, it's hard to even find the words, because it was incredibly fulfilling. That time in my life where we realized just the absolute precious gift that time and life was, that we wanted to make the most of every single moment that we had together. And for us, during that time, it was our family and pouring into our kids and finding that new normal and the balance between just, where our kids were, where our marriage was, where his recovery was, and that new sense of normal, because every 6 weeks we were still going to get brain scans and meeting with doctors. So a lot of emotional type of navigation here. But even so, I still got to the point where I just felt there was more. And having that conversation with Adam, I didn't know exactly what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it. I definitely did not know the path that I needed to go. I just knew that there was a calling in my heart and a fire in my soul that I wanted to use the gifts and talents that I had been blessed with to make an impact on others. That I didn't want whatever we created or whatever we taught our kids to begin and end with our family, that there was something greater to contribute to. So, that's the first steps that I took into digital marketing, and started figuring out how to just transition this world and not only start contributing to the income again for the family, but also using the skill sets that I had to help other businesses grow, and not only grow for themselves, but obviously make an impact for their customers. And the more and more I did that, the more and more I realized, like, this is what stepping into your purpose feels like. And I battled it for a while because there were certain things that I did that just did not feel like they were difficult. And I know it sounds weird, but if you think about it and you look at every different market or niche or skill or talent, there's work and there's learning and there's practice and there's preparation to get to that point where it feels effortless. But if you watch Michael Jordan take a free throw, I just feel like he could do it in his sleep because he's perfectly balanced, the work and the time and the effort and like his drive, and same thing with ballet or an ice skater or a musician. I mean, you listen to some of these people just pick up a microphone and start to sing, and they don't even need anything else. So there are certain skills and talents that come to us naturally, as easy as breathing, and that when paired with the drive to master those skills and talents, that's when we can really change lives. And that is when we accept full responsibility of being able to get it out there into the world. So if you're listening to this, maybe take an inventory of what your skill set is. What problem do you solve? What do you bring to the table? And what does that combination look like? It is as easy as breathing, but also to pursue it and master it would never feel like work. You would never get tired of it. Like you are driven to continue to improve. That is your obligation, to bring that gift to the world, to the market, to the people who are asking for it. And so for me, it was relationships, relationship marketing, impact-driven marketing. It's definitely not a top Google search. It's not even a term that most people understand. But they do understand the value of the connection when you start looking at the long-term value of a customer, the lifetime value of a customer, what you can do at every different phase and serving at every different level, and not just being in it for one solitary sale, but to build a legacy with your business. So that became my lane. That became my area of expertise. And it's almost like when you're taking inventory and you're kind of rolling things back and you're thinking about this, think about it like this. If I was to stop doing this today and just went to get whatever simple job that I could work while the kids were at school and make a minimum amount of income, would I be not only as personally fulfilled, but would I be not fulfilling or serving someone else? Like, would I be stopping someone else's capacity to make an impact by not making mine? And I think that's the thing. I couldn't walk away from that. And I think that's where the obligation part comes in. I know, especially within the ClickFunnels community, all of us have heard Russell say, it is our moral obligation to serve those that we have the solution for. And, many times it's been compared to if you were sitting on the cure for cancer, but not willing to put yourself out there or to share the solution that you had, you're actually doing a huge disservice to other people. And for many of us, that analogy hits hard and right to the heart, because why would we withhold anyone the chance at something great, the chance to save and change their lives? We wouldn't do it. So that's one of the things, and even myself, sometimes I struggle with, really, I value serving over sales. So, but I've started to really see, if someone calls about services and I don't equip them to confidently make a decision based on where to go, and it doesn't even have to be with me, it could be with someone else. Did I do them a disservice by did I leave something on the table, I guess is what I'm saying. Did I not educate them? Did I not share passionately, not only the outcome that I desired for them, but the outcome that sits within themselves to take action, of being able to invest in themselves or their company, whether it be in personal development or marketing. It's a huge responsibility. And so that's what, oh Lord, definitely deep reflection here when you put it in terms like that. Are we really showing up with that passion and almost like that evangelical fire, where it's I can help you, let me help you, of course delivered in the right way, but are we looking at our products and our services and our companies that way, where not only is our obligation to serve, but it's our obligation to get the message out there to make sure that they can see us and find us. So that is my message to you today. It's definitely what we're doing with our clients for Amplify in the coaching program and in the consulting. I'll just have to say, what's really, really interesting is the more calls that we have and the more clients that we're serving, is we're realizing what area we are truly serving the most. And if I was to be all honest today, this episode alone, I'm talking to myself as much as sharing with you all, because I'm looking at it as we have an obligation to keep going. We have an obligation to show up and serve in a way, because there is such a gap in the marketplace where this is needed. And what we do with our clients, and not only just the strategy, but some of these products and services would never get off the ground and in front of the right audience to solve their problems. And to me, that would be just detrimental. So I am realizing this is absolutely coming full circle for me, where I am realizing it is 100% my obligation to get bold, to get loud, to be out there, so that I can be the adversary for these clients, for them to realize their responsibility and their obligation to get out there and serve as well. So it's definitely a ripple effect that we're all a part of. Thank you for being here and spending time with me. Definitely connect with us in the Amplify My Impact free Facebook group. We have a lot of fun over there. Tons of discussion always going on with business, marketing, and how we can all increase our impact together. And just a ton of resources there in the learning units. Definitely visit amplifymyimpact.com for additional resources as well. We want to support you in every way, shape, and form. And if at all you are ready to grow and scale your impact, reach out to us and see if you're a good fit for our coaching or consulting. I am just honored to be talking to you guys today and cannot wait to catch up with you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.